What's going on, you guys? Welcome to today's video. I just smacked myself in the wrist with, where'd he go? This hammer right here, so hard, and it took everything in me not to just throw it as far as I could, but I controlled myself and I didn't throw it. I wasn't gonna film this portion because you guys already saw this on that side of the car. The plan was to just knock this out real fast and film the rear, doing the rear brakes, wheel bearings, and that kind of stuff. But this bolt right here is giving me the hardest time. It's been probably 45 minutes. That one was so stuck to even break free, and I finally got it free, and then I'm pretty sure the bolt was like stuck to the inside piece of the bushing, the metal piece, and it took forever doing little turns, and I finally cracked and broke free of that. So now it spins pretty freely, but I can't get it to come out any further. I've heated it up, I like tried to melt it, I've had the pry bar to try and pop it out. It spins no problem, but I just cannot get it out. I don't want to cut it, or at least not yet, but I didn't plan on filming this side, but man, my wrist hurts. That sucked, man. I was trying to hammer this into there a little bit and pry it through, and I just smacked myself right in the wrist. And now it's time just to sit for a minute, take a little break, maybe have a snack, and we'll come back and we'll try and finish this up. Man, it was going well too. Like, this came off no problem, that came off no problem, everything was going good. That bolt's out, this one's out, ball joint's out, but then there's always got to be one that just takes forever to do. So yeah, I'm not sure how to get it to break free. I'm not sure what it's stuck on anymore. Like I said, it spins freely. I don't know, hope it comes out. I don't want to have to cut it. I'm pretty sure I have some spare bolts, so if I have to, we'll cut it and get it out of there. I would love for it just to back out like it's supposed to, but here we are. Here we are. All right, so sadly, we've made no more progress on this. I don't have the right size blade to get inside here and cut this, so for right now, it'll just be as it is. Moving on to the back so I can make some progress today. Got the back wheel off to do the same thing. New rotor, new wheel bearing, new pads, and new brake line here. I'll go through, clean this up, and then just refresh the entire thing. I gotta say, it's always so much fun laying out all your new nice shiny parts. We got brake line, the entire wheel bearing kit, outside, inside, some new bolts, seal, brake pads, and of course the rotor. And I'm really hoping nothing in this area wants to try and fight me. It's all very easy stuff, but it takes just one bolt to kind of go through and just ruin everything. So we'll see which one it's going to be. So I'm very pleased to say the rear is actually going much easier than what the front was going. All the old pieces are in here. Even the brake lines, this one and this one on the caliper, both broke free, no problem. The ones in the back were a little bit stuck, but with the cheetah bar, got them broke free, didn't strip anything out because these things love to round off, but off to a good start. Look at that. Again, this side went way too well. The other side, I'm guaranteed will be a problem, but at least this side is pretty much done. This is all good to go. Last thing we need to do is go through and compress the caliper, put the new pads in, and then it's done. Now, the front calipers on a Volkswagen are very different from the rear. The front, you can just take a C-clamp, compress it when you're done. The rears, I have to compress and spin at the same time, which requires this tool right here. Actually, I bought this off eBay. It was like 20 bucks, super cheap and very handy to have. Either a Volkswagen, Audi, any of those. And this is what you get. So this acts like the pad on the outside. You feed it over top of this and it sits like right about here. You find the one that fits into these little grooves. You can see, kind of hard to see right there, that top one and the bottom one. This sits right into there like this with the little notch pieces. So as you crank this down, it spins and compresses at the same time. That way you can reset the piston, fit the pads in, and you're good to go. All right, so I'm gonna try and show this and explain as best as possible, because the first time I used one of these tools, it was kind of confusing. So like I said, you have this piece here that acts as the outside pad on the caliper. So we're gonna go in here. What you'll do is you'll take this and you'll feed it over the top. So like this, over the top, and let it come down, and it sits just like so. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna spin this open till it fits inside the caliper, and this piece is flush on the outside, and then over here will be flush to the inside. Now we have to find which one of these is going to fit perfectly. I can't really show, but perfectly to that center piston. And this 9 or this 6 looks kind of close. Let's see if that's the one or not. All right, so that is the one. So this will go on the end like so. So this is your entire assembly for the tool. Like I said, we're gonna fit this inside of here with this on the outside of the caliper, and we're gonna spin this open until it's tight. And once you have it tight from side to side, you use this handle to crank down. You can see how it moves. That's going to push the piston in and spin it at the same time. And then as you compress it more, you want to go hold it here, you spin it back out, keep it tight from both sides, and then continue to push it in. This, if you look at this now, you have your inner piece with little notches into the piston right there, and on the bottom side, this has been spun out, keeping this outer pad tight to the outside of the caliper. And as I crank this to the right, you'll watch there, it's going to spin, if I can do it one-handed. Well, I can't do it one-handed because I have to hold this at the same time, but as you crank this right, that'll spin the piston down and compress it, and then as this gets loose, spin this one left a little bit, open it back up, and then continue until the piston's all the way flat and reset. So once you have your piston fully compressed, toss your new pads in, put the caliper back on, and this side is basically done. I'm gonna wire brush this section, clean it up, bleed this caliper, and this side's good. So this side is done and back together. For some reason, I couldn't get any brake fluid to come out of this caliper, no matter how hard I tried. But it kind of doesn't matter right now because I still have to pull off the main line from the brake reservoir all the way to the back of the car. So I'll have to do it again. So it's not the biggest deal. And then after all the brakes in the car is done and the brake line, I'll get the pressure bleeder for the front, hook it up to the reservoir, put pressure to that, and then just go to each side, crack it, let it all flow through, and then close it off. And that'll be much, much easier. Now, as for this side on the car, still, I do not know what to do to get this out. Like I said, I don't have the proper cutting tool right now to actually cut this top piece off. I guess trying to hammer it back in and then pull it out possibly, but like, it's loose, like almost no resistance to spin it. But like the pry bar, heating it up, all the liquid wrench, nothing I can do. I can't get it to come out at all. And I don't know what it's stuck on or what it's catching. But I mean, I use it right here. I bent this whole side of the old control arm in, just trying to pry it out, and like it doesn't even budge. Even putting pressure and prying this way as I spin it like this, just nothing. So I don't know what to do about this right now until I cut it. All right, boys, it's Monday. We're back, jumping back to the Corrado. Today, I'm gonna start with this side and get this one knocked out. So we'll have that side done, this side done, and that side done. And then we'll jump back over to this side. Now, I got a tool to cut that bolt, but I'm worried that even if I cut this side, I think the threads on the inside of the subframe actually broke. Like, that's why this spins freely, but I'm pretty sure this is spinning and also that side's spinning. And if I cut this, it's still stuck to that side, so I have to cut this side and then try and go over to here and cut that side as well. And if the threads on the inside of here are messed up, you have to like try to weld some new ones in or a new subframe. I don't know exactly, but hopefully it's not too much of an issue. I'm hoping once I cut this, it just comes right out and it's good to go, but we'll have to see. So we have this side done, the back side done, and now this side is also done, and this one's super smooth, all good to go. Now, give me a quick break, have some food, mentally prepare for how annoying that front side and that bolt might be. I'm hoping it's a quick cut and it just falls right out, but if it's stuck to the inside, it might be very, very obnoxious. So again, quick break, we'll come back and hopefully this isn't a super big headache. All right, so I went through, I tried my very best to get this bolt out before I like tried cutting anything. I just can't get it to come out. The front spins no problem, but I can't get the back side to either catch or break free. I'm not sure. But where the bolt's at right there, it will not come any farther forward with the pry bar. Even put the pry bar here, pushing the bolt that way, lay it on the ground, use this one and spun the bolt like full speed this way, and also pry it out to maybe get it to catch and pull it free, but nothing. So we're gonna cut it now. The only thing I'm afraid of is if I cut this bolt now, cut the head off and try and pop it back in a little bit, I might have to go through here like this angle and cut further in. Maybe try to cut this entire section, cut across here, cut the control arm, and then try and cut and get the bolt out. Because if I just cut here, I don't know if it's far enough forward from the back side to actually get it off. It might be, but it's hard to tell because I can't quite see inside there. But yeah, I tried my best, but now it is time to cut stuff. All right, well, it is it's officially time. I just want to let you know, car, you brought this on yourself. Like, I tried for 2 days now to get this bolt out the normal way, but you want to play some silly games, and now this is what I got to do. You brought it on yourself. Well, I got this portion out. This is the control arm. I cut off this portion that's still stuck in there. This is the head off the 18 that goes through this side of the mount. We're almost there. I actually ran out of blade that smoke goes to, but I cut the head off and I'm almost through this inside section over here. I'm gonna cut straight down through here, and I should be able to pop this out after, or I might cut through that side as well. We'll see, but it's almost out. So once I cut that final piece out, we can get inside there and see what actually happened. I'm really hoping it's the bolt stuck inside of the metal bushing and not the actual part of the subframe like broken off, because that would be much more annoying. They're having to do a new subframe or cut a square in the bottom of it and then weld a nut to the back side. You can still throw the bolt back in later on, either or, but I'm hoping it's just stuck inside of the bushing, and then once that whole thing's out, it's just done and good to go. So tomorrow in the morning, I'm gonna go to the store, grab some more blades, we'll come back, chop that thing up, and hopefully it's all good to go, put the new pieces in, and then all the brakes and that suspension stuff is done. Then we can move on to the oil pan gasket and the rest of the small stuff on the car. But Like they say, it's only one bolt that can make a 30-minute job take, you know, 2-3 days, and there's always one. All right, we're back. It's currently day 3. I'm about to leave, get some new blades, and hopefully knock out the Corrado suspension today and be done with it. But yesterday I got a box. I want to show you. Look at this lineup. So VW Drive Gear, actually, this one's right here. This one right there, they actually released all of the Generation shirts online. Previously, they're only available at the show, which I got this one back in Helen, but I missed out on this one, and this one. But they released them for sale. I think they're sold out now, but I went through, I snagged all they didn't have. So we got the good old Mark 1, the Mark 2 from Helen, the Mark 3, which is a VR stick, which is sick, and we have the Mark 4. I think they're going all the way until 8. But yeah, they popped up, and I wanted to snag them while I could. The only difference is the one from the actual show, these ones say, oh, wrong sleeve, hang on. This one. These ones say GTI Generation on the sleeve, or the ones from the show have the Volkswagen logo right there. So just a little different, I'm not sure. And they're also printed on a different shirt. If I can open this up. Hello, maybe. There we go. The show ones that you picked up have the logo here, where these ones say Generation. They're also printed on a different brand of shirt, but still, it's cool to have all of them. Also, I have this, I'll show you just a moment. You've seen this poster before, but I got the Mark 2 from Helen. I'm still missing the Mark 1, and I missed the Mark 4. But the homies from the Mark 3 squad snagged me this one right here. I'll show you in a minute. So I could have sworn Sammy had said he grabbed me the Mark 3 poster, but turns out we have the Mark 4 GTA Anniversary poster, which honestly, in the yellow, this is super, super sick. But now, I can't remember who I talked to. I talked to somebody. Someone messaged me and said, hey, I grabbed you the Mark 3 poster, and I gave him an address, but I don't remember who it was. So if it was you, reach back out to me. But yeah, this is sick. Mark 4 poster is dope. So now I just need the Mark 3 poster and the Mark 1. So we already have the Mark 2 over there. So I'm looking for this one and that one. And also the Harlequin one from the Low Show is dope too. So if you have any extra posters, let me know. All right, boys and girls, we are back home. I've got some fresh blades. Today's the day. Hopefully I'm gonna cut the last piece. It's gonna come out. Everything's gonna work perfectly. And that's how it's gonna go. Not gonna lie, that kind of sucked. I should have filmed that, but I just want to get it done. And I used this big old beefy blade, but look at that, we got her. Actually, this piece right here was what was kind of stuck in the hole, but that piece from the bolt fell out first, and then this, look at that. I cut like 4 different angles to get it, and the bolt itself is just seized up inside of the actual bushing, and the threads inside of there actually look to be fine, which is awesome. Thank goodness that section's fine. I didn't care about this, I just wanted that to be good, which it is. So I don't know what happened, but this bolt was straight seized up inside the metal washer into the bushing, and couldn't move it, couldn't spin it, wouldn't back out. Holy crap, all that work for one bolt. Okay, and now we move on. I already done the brake line on the side, that's already done. Compressor capper, that's done. New pads, rotor, control arm in, this whole section is done, and we can finally move on to some other stuff. I am so glad this side is finally done. New control arm, new bushings, all the bolts won't make it no problem. Everything's locked headed, torque down, new brake line, new rotor, new pad. It's all good to go. Now, before I go ahead and bring the car back down, while it's still up in the air, we're gonna go through, do the oil pan gasket and a fresh oil change at the same time. I also noticed we have a little puddle of coolant right there. Since the car's been running more than it ever has, this coolant flange right here coming from the heater core back up to the side of the head is actually leaking out the bottom. These are probably the original flanges on here. The plastic is old, the seals get bad, so I'll probably replace that one. And this one's not leaking, but while we do that one, probably do this one as well, just to knock out all of that, get it all done. But aside from that and a few other minor things here and there, the car is definitely coming together nicely, and the best part, this thing still runs like an absolute champ every single time, no problem. Look at this. Absolute champ. All right, so we have our oil draining now. As soon as that's done and the pan's empty, we can go through, do all these tents and drop the pan down, and then also have a lot of cleaning to do on the back side of this block. So I believe I got all of the bolts out.
Nope.
All right, so I actually think I missed, I think there's 2 more back over here, but I believe you have to remove this little cover here, and then we can see the last 2, I think. I'm just looking at the oil pan gasket, there's 2 more bolts that I don't have out, so they're somewhere like way up in there. So after this is out of the way, we'll be able to see what that is, and hopefully they're not a giant pain to get to. All right, so with that piece not out of the way, if we look up here, we got one up there and one up there, which actually look to be pretty easy to get to, I hope. And once those 2 are off, then it's coming down. So if you have a nice small 10 like this and a very skinny extension, getting to these, this one's already done. But getting these isn't too bad. Just make sure when you get to the bolt, you push down like nice and tight on it. That way you don't strip it. Oh, this one, can I go in there? That seems kind of sketchy. This one over here was a bit easier. This one's kind of a weird angle. I really need like a small like swivel one for this. But I think I can get it like right here. Is that it? Yeah, good success. This should come down now. Yeah, it's great success. Great success. Over there. Ah, look at that. All the fun. Doesn't look terrible though. No, bottom end looks to be pretty good shape. All right, let's get this gasket changed. So yeah, learn from my mistake. We're doing a oil pan. I'm assuming this is probably the same as an ABA as well. There's two more sneaky ones way over here behind the little cover, so don't forget, try and pry it down and then snap these two off. But looking at here, I don't see any maybe a little bit right there actually. That might be a little bit of metal. Can't quite tell what that is. But for the most part, like I don't really see like any shimmering, whatever that is right there. See that? What is that? A little piece there, and a little bit right here. But the oil itself isn't like super shimmery, so I don't think there's anything to worry about. Yeah, looks to be okay. Just a couple small little pieces like right here that I saw, but very fine little pieces, like only a couple. Like, so I think it's all good. So at the top level, the oil looked pretty good, but now that I've drained the rest of this out to here, we've got actually a few chunks. I got a chunk right here. Whatever this is, just set it on the towel, try and dry it off and see. We got that piece right there. I got this piece over here. Can't tell what that's from. There's a few more down here by the bottom. So I got one right here. We got another small piece right here, a couple. And then a few little ones right here. I can't tell what it is exactly. Hold on. So we got, I put it in the white spot, you can see it better. That one, this one, this one, and this one. And I can't quite tell what exactly that is or what it's from. Almost looks like plastic. Like it's been there for like a long time. I don't think it's metal, I think it's plastic. But what would that be from? But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And I said the oil itself isn't like super shimmery, like it'd be like metal. But there is these pieces. I think they're plastic. I didn't see anything down here right away. Let me look. I mean, this is all plastic. Could be from a piece from this. Do I see any chunks off of this little guard here? See if I'm missing any of the edges. I mean, not that I can see, but the pieces look like they'd be from this. But then I wonder what has caused it to, like, you know, break off, because like all these edges are smooth. So it's not from here, at least. At least not that I can see. I don't know. I'll just, we're looking. So I've gone through, got the panel cleaned up and all the old gasket off. I looked all over under the bottom of the car. I can't find anything plastic that's broken. I don't know how long these actually been there. Could be a few days, months, years. We don't know. It is plastic though, 100% plastic. I'm just not sure where it's from. But again, I don't see anything broken. There's nothing in the oil pickup, so it looks pretty clean down there. So I don't know. Oh, look at that. After 3 days, she is finally back on the ground. At this point, the brakes, front, rear, pads, rotors, brake lines, wheel bearings in the back. I still have to do the e-brake cables, but for the most part, that's all done. Control arms left and right are done. We have a new oil pan, gasket. That's good to go. So we fixed our oil leaking issue between the valve cover and the oil pan, but now I take care of our new coolant leak, which is right here. So we'll replace that flange and this flange, and after that, the front of the car is pretty much done. Then you have to go to the back, do the muffler still, the e-brake cables, and the brake line from the front to the rear, but we're almost there. Pending no more, 3-day, 1-bolt hiccups, we're doing pretty good. So I think realistically with the parts I still need to order and still find, probably by the end of this month, this car should be completely done and probably out of here. But with that, gonna end the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.